Log begins. My name is Christopher Hopkins. I am the de facto leader of the newly formed Martian Council. The date is the 28th of March 2068, I think. Mankind, we humans, are a curious and bold species. We like to venture into the unknown. And as many times before, despite the odds, we ventured forth into a new frontier without fear. Yet I am now fearful for not only my life, but the lives of my fellow colonists. We number a little more than 1,000. Almost all of us are scientists, engineers, and the like. I am a botanist by profession. I've always had a dream of going up into the unknown, exploring new frontiers and setting foot in a place where no one ever had before. I always wanted to be a part of something greater than myself, and I had been blessed with the opportunity to do just that. It has been a year since I was tasked to go to one of the dozen or so small bases on the Red Planet to conduct research and help with food production, to aid the fledgling colony to hopefully one day become self-sufficient. We were a long way from that goal, but I was happy to help, of course. By this time, I would be back on Earth, actually, since there is a rotation of personnel every year, plus the time of transit. Why am I still here on Mars? Well, there is no one coming to pick me up. There is no one coming to deliver supplies. There is no voice to issue orders. There is no more news from back on Earth. The last transmission, which we could make out at least, was 4 months ago. It was a news anchor's last words. I still remember listening to the man as he named every place where there had been a recent blast. I remember the hopelessness in his voice as he recited the names of once great cities that stood proudly as a testament to human progress. They had been torn asunder, rendered only to dust and rubble. While we were away, the world descended into total war. I do remember some political tensions flaring up before I went to Mars, but I had never expected it to erupt in such a catastrophic, apocalyptic way. We had no contact with Earth for 4 months. We only had an occasional garbled mess of static our sensors picked up, but that's it. Our food supplies were limited, and we had no way to feed everyone with the rate of food production. The hydroponics might have a high yield, but they can in no way feed 1,000 souls stranded on a red rock. Yes, we are stranded, abandoned, you might even say. But we are alive. Somehow we survived to here. How much longer we will continue, I do not know. Even to survive for nearly half a year had been a titanic struggle. We had to adapt and use all of our skills and knowledge to our best abilities. Many have died. In the beginning, it was suicides and infighting. We are an international crew scattered around a few dozen bases. The farthest one out is about a day's journey by rover. Some of us broke and blamed our fellow colonists for the war solely based on their nationality and ethnicity. We had a war of our own here, but ultimately after we realized that we might be the only ones left of our species, that we might be the only remaining living humans in existence, we found it in ourselves to lower our weapons and work together. It is said that when it's difficult to thrive, species evolve quicker. That is true, but deprive us enough and we will suffer our inevitable demise. Human bodies are fragile, especially in this alien environment. We live and do back-breaking work every single day. We promised ourselves we will survive. We must survive. Some of us work to death to dig up ice so that we can turn it into drinkable water and oxygen. Our flesh is obsolete here, and we had to work as if we were machines. Our throats are the chimneys, our stomachs the furnaces, and our bellow lungs the pumps bring oxygen. Our hearts are the engines that work day and night to keep that machine working. 1,230 human beings on this planet. The day when we lost contact. 1,009 today. Our numbers are dwindling, but in a horrid way it is better that way. Fewer mouths to feed, fewer lungs to breathe. We recycled everything we could. Hell, we even managed to make a small factory to make some simple tools and machinery. But the main reason I'm recording this is because of a breakthrough. I, alongside a biologist and another botanist, found that the Martian soil is viable for farming. By using our excrement and enriching the soil with hydrogen, we managed to make fertile soil on this dead world. We managed to create life on this barren planet by use of its damn soil. This is a turning point. We have shared our discovery with the other bases and have embarked on a mission to repurpose most of the abandoned buildings we have for farming. We will have enough food to survive in the coming months. We won't starve. But there are still pressing issues that need to be addressed. Oxygen is still an issue. Our machinery, despite being designed to last a long time, had become faulty. We had multiple reports from some of the bases that the mining rigs had broken down. We lack spare parts, and we barely managed to improvise repairs before. If any of the rigs break down permanently, we are in deep shit. I have mentioned that we have a small factory, a workshop, that makes simple tools and machinery, as well as parts for the existing machinery we have. We used recycled metal, but that resource is slowly running dry. One of the newest prospecting reports indicates there is an iron vein somewhere just south of where I and my base are located. We can temporarily transport one of the mining rigs toward that location for a short while. Jackson, one of the lead engineers here, are working on making a new drill for the rig. We hope it'll work. The man is working overtime with minimal resources and tools at his disposal. The only thing we can do is hope. Thankfully, Mars is much richer in iron than Earth is, and we don't need to dig too deep. Hell, the distinct red color of the planet is due to iron oxide on its surface. But I digress. Then again, even if we manage to get some raw iron out of the ground, the question remains how we will smelt it and turn it into something useful. Steel would be fantastic, but there is not much oxygen for the fire. And we mustn't waste our oxygen on some piece of metal. If we want steel or just workable iron, we need massive amounts of fuel and oxygen. We might use some of the oxidizer that is left from one of the test rockets. It doesn't have much, but it is something. As for fuel, coal would be adequate, but we had no luck just yet identifying any coal veins in our immediate area. Though we can use methane gas as the fuel, we might be able to anatomically disperse zinc to act as a synthetic enzyme, catalyzing carbon dioxide, initializing the process. It doesn't require much energy or space, so it should be a good solution. Those are the projects we have thus far. I don't know whether or not I will update this log. I probably will to inform you we are still alive. To whoever is listening, if anyone is listening, I will be sending this message towards Earth. So if you're hearing this when on Earth, both you and I are in luck, ha ha ha. You are not alone. Well, not in the system at least. You may know of us, but we might never know of you. I am unsure if any communication devices remain on Earth to send back messages over such distances. Damn, now that I think about it, is there anything that can receive it? I should not think about it. I only hope one day, if we survive and hopefully thrive, that if anything, our descendants will step on Earth one day. We have a large store of human knowledge with us, so history won't be forgotten. We'll make sure of that. For the sons and daughters of Mars, their father, they will also know of their mother. They will know of the planet where man had first evolved. They will know their origins. They will know what place is their home, true home. This is Christopher Hopkins, signing out. Log end.